Now, since modern medicine has completely failed helping me with my chronic illness, I decided, you know what, it's worth a try to try out the literal fountain of youth that countries, cultures, everyone all over the world have done for centuries. Natural hot springs can be found all across the continent of North America. In fact, did you know there are 1,661 in the United States alone? And Native Americans of all tribes found their benefits and used their healing powers whenever they could.
So speaking of American hot springs, a lot of you know that FDR, one of our presidents, contracted polio at the age of 39 and he was paralyzed from the waist down. So naturally he was looking around for different treatments and things to help rehabilitate himself.
Yeah, kind of like we do.
And he ended up finding hot springs in Georgia in 1924. And he felt like it helped him so much in his recovery and rehabilitation that he ended up buying the Hot Springs Resort. And in 1926, he made it into a place for other people with disabilities to visit to help them recover from polio or other ailments that they had.
Yeah, so he liked hot springs enough. He actually bought it and made it recovery center, so that's pretty cool. And that's in Georgia. Maybe I'll visit that one in the future, we'll see. By the way, guys, this is my husband Dane.
Hello.
So yeah, us looking into the Native Americans, the Greeks, the Japanese, everybody with hot springs, FDR, everybody has used this and has gotten healing benefits out of it for so long. I'm like, okay, let's try that. So I looked around it and I tried to Google American hot springs. And so we found actually one of the oldest hot springs resorts in America. It opened in 1868, holy moly. And that was the Ojo Caliente Resort in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And the cool thing about the Ojo Caliente Resort is not only is it one of the oldest, but it's also one of the only ones in the world, supposedly, that has a cool combination of 4 different sulfur-free mineral waters, spring waters, whatever you call it, including iron, arsenic, lithia, and soda. So yeah, of course, we had to go find it and try it out. I mean, modern medicine has completely failed me. Let's try it. If not, at least we got a nice vacation going somewhere with hot tubs.
Hey, I meant they've kept it open for over 100 years, so some people must have
Something must be working. Something. And that's when I show the airplane travel montage. Gonna show a montage. They got us a special pass. I forget what the pass was called already.
Priority.
Make sure you get priority gate check when you check your own wheelchair to make sure that it does not get lost. And especially if you have double flights. So if you have your own wheelchair, make sure to get priority gate check for your wheelchair, especially if you have matching connecting flights, because that's super not fun if they don't have it and you have to get to your next one ASAP, like we do.
Please do not block the doors. Allow people to exit.
Welcome to Walmart.
No more. It's the Mardu wall. Oh, that's okay. Oh, here's the exit.
Went into Walmart, got a few things, promptly forgot the actual reason we went in there, which was for more sunblock. And so while I waited in the car trying not to fall asleep from lack of sleep, he went and got the sunblock and some water and some other things. So we're still at Walmart. We're about to leave and head off on our way. And hopefully we didn't forget anything else. And hopefully we don't crash because we are exhausted. You gonna make it?
Yeah, I got an energy drink.
So tired. So tired.
What the heck is that, cow crossing?
Cow crossing. Woo! Ooh, it's bright. Make sure you ask for a fridge, because they don't charge you for a fridge if you have medicine that needs to be refrigerated. So okay, believe it or not, there is actually a right way to bathe in mineral springs. So let me give you a couple of these insights. Tip 1, wash off all your grossness, perfume, oils, etc., because you don't want that crud getting in the nice natural mineral hot spring and wrecking it. So a good rule of thumb is when your forehead and your nose start dripping sweat, you probably should get out and cool off for a little bit. Yeah, you don't want to stay in there long enough and faint or anything like that. Obviously, drink lots of water while you're in there. You need to stay hydrated, extremely important. And okay, the interesting parts of this actually come from after you get out and are done. So when you get out of the hot springs pool, do not take a shower for at least 3 hours, because for those 3 hours, your skin is still absorbing the nutrients from the hot spring. Bet you didn't know that one. Also important when you're done, make sure you rest and let your body kind of get back to normal levels for at least 30 minutes after you get out of the hot tub. Your blood pressure goes up, your heart rate goes up, everything happens like that when you're in the hot tub. And so if you don't do that, you can really strain your system. So when you're done, give yourself 30 minutes just to relax. And one rule that specifically is for Ojo Caliente Hot Springs and Spa is they have a rather extreme quiet rule here that you really need to know about. Quiet only, no talking. It was just so weird to have whispering sound like shouting because it's like that quiet. It is the most quiet place I've ever gone in, and I'm not sure yet if I like that or not, because on the one hand, my anxiety and my PTSD were very happy to have this extremely tranquil place. And on the other hand, trying to say anything at all to my husband who is with me, I felt like frickin' Godzilla. And obviously, no kids allowed because of that rule. For today's mystery brews. How did it happen? Where did we get it? We don't know. By the way, Ojo Caliente Resort recommends everybody brings their own sandals, a water bottle, and you have to have the mineral-based sunscreen. Oil-based is not allowed. And my own personal recommendation, bring a wide brim hat. And if you are allergic to bees, make sure you bring your EpiPen, because there are a lot of hornets around the spa area.
Lots of bees here for sure.
I actually forgot to mention last time I was here, the other cool thing about this specific area, the Ojo Caliente Spa, is that the tribes, the Native American tribes around here, it was a peaceful area where warring tribes would call truce and also trade amongst each other while enjoying the hot springs. So I thought that was really cool, and I just had to mention it. So, all right. Here, lizard. Hey, so did you know spa is actually a Latin term? It's an acronym for Salus per Aquas, which means health through water. And the way this water actually tends to bring health is that the water has a ton of minerals in it, such as, yeah, I need my notes for this, you guys. You're gonna have to see notes. Boron, calcium, chloride, sodium, sulfate, lithium, potassium, magnesium, manganese, iron, silica, zinc, fluoride, phosphate, nitrogen, and others. Yeah, there's no way I could have remembered that off the top of my head. So yeah, after having a panic attacks and stuff, the cool thing was, and the great thing about this spa is, I went and had a massage by this awesome girl named Sarah. It was amazing. It made my day. I feel so much better. As you can see, I'm like so much less swollen. She did, I think, lymphatic drainage too, so that was so worth it. And then, so later on around 7:30, 8 o'clock, the sun was set. It was dark. And the really cool thing about this resort is if you're staying in the hotel, the hot spring saunas are open until 10 o'clock at night. So it gets dark around 8, like dark. And it was so pretty, you guys. We went out there. The hot springs were so nice. You could see all the stars. They had the mountains that are around us lit up with lights. It was so beautiful. And then no bugs. It was so wonderful. Oh, the other thing that was interesting was the longer you're out there, it gets darker, right? So I thought it was dark and you could see all the constellations just when we first went out there. And then an hour later, it was even darker. So there were so many stars, more and more stars kept coming out and you could see the Milky Way and all that cool stuff. So yeah, it was so nice. I mean, of course you have the weird people that think they can be gross in public and nobody will notice. They think they're sly. Of course, that always happens. But you just tell them to get a room and they go away.
Hey there, kitty. Uh-huh.
So here at the Ojo, I keep saying Ojo. It's Ojo Caliente Spa. It is Ojo? No, I think it's Ojo. It's because I'm Minnesotan, don't you know? I have to say these things wrong. I don't know the Spanish. Anyways, here at the Ojo Caliente Spa, they have 9 natural thermal pools. So these pools are actually really cool. They are the soda pool, which is said to help aid in digestion. The Lithia pool, which is considered a really good depression relieving mineral, which is also cool. And I think the sign in the pool also said it aided digestion. Now, the iron pool has a pebble floor that the natural spring waters actually bubble up through the pebbles between your toes, which is kind of cool. And that is said to actually benefit your immune system. Cars, so many cars. That's what we get for filming in a parking lot. I'm gonna get so sunburnt just waiting for all these cars to go through. Now, the arsenic waters are actually believed to help heal stomach ulcers, arthritis pain, and skin conditions. There's also a really cool mud pool. And so you go in, you put on this mud mixture, you lay out, you bake in the sun, it dries, you wash it off. By the end of it, your skin is so soft. I don't know what minerals are in that mud, but it's fantastic. So there's also this really cool public foot bath. And that's where you guys sit in a line and they have pebbles on the bottom for kind of reflexology. They also have the largest pool, which is the coldest pool. And that one runs from about 80 to 89 degrees Fahrenheit. So on a hot day in the hot springs, you want to cool down, you go to the big pool. You're sure the red dot's on, right? I hate when I do this for 2 hours and then it didn't record any of it. I've done that before. Some of my favorite pools are actually what are called the cliffside pools. There's an upper and a lower one. And those ones are a mixture of the iron and arsenic waters, which is really cool. I really like these. These are also next to the private pools where people can burn, have their own little bonfires or something there. And it smells so good sitting in those pools. And it feels so good because they're so hot. They're some of the hottest pools there. I love it. And then one of the pools I actually wasn't able to get to because it's upstairs is something called the terrace pool, which I think the locals are known for going to. It's about hot tub size. It's shaded. And I have no idea what benefits that one has. I never got up there. So, oh well. Oh my gosh, you guys. trying to film in a very public resort, especially in the parking lot. Not a great idea, especially going out and not wearing any sunblock in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Holy smokes. That was not a good idea. Go brain fog. But hopefully it actually recorded this time and actually has sound. I don't know if I can do that again. All done, so sad. Going back.
Alright, yeah, I'll go first.
Alrighty then. Why? Oh, that's why. Of course, I messed it up already. Maybe I should do it again. Shoot. So I know what you're wondering. How much did the springs actually help me? Surprisingly a lot. And the weird thing is, it really helped me in ways that I wasn't even expecting at all. All right, so I started writing down kind of the effects a little over a month after the fact, after we went. And so after about a month, I noticed, well, okay, first, I gotta let you guys know. So before I went, my heart rate variability, which is something I track to see how bad my crashes are, a normal healthy person's lowest would be about 50. That is bad. Mine was at 13 right before I went to the springs. 13, like, I honestly did feel like I could die at any minute. I was feeling so bad. And that kind of backed it up. And if I slept literally for 24 hours, it would go up and try so hard to go up, but then instantly it would be right back down. It was in the teens and the tens, more than I'd like to admit. Well, I'm feeling awful. And then I got to go to the springs. And the springs, as you guys saw, I had to take 2 plane rides and then an hour and a half drive to get there. I should have crashed so hard. But as you guys can see, my heart rate variability went from like 13 to jumping up pretty quickly to the 30s and then staying there and even getting to the 40s at times. And it just kind of stayed there until I started doing this new therapy that is messing with me really bad, unfortunately. But until that therapy, that super stressful on my body therapy, it stayed there. I was shocked. I did not just rest the whole time at the spa, you guys. Like, I had to film this stuff. It was hard, and it was hard to get there, and it was hard to get back, and I should have crashed and crashed and crashed and crashed, and I didn't. It was weird. I didn't feel great. I didn't feel energized, but I didn't die or crash like I thought I was going. I honestly thought I might die, I'll be honest. That's how bad I was feeling before I left. And on top of that, as you guys can see, my resting heart rate went from being in like the high 70s on a good day to being low flatline 70 across the board, sometimes lower 60s. And it stayed there. And that's really cool. Like, you want a lower heart rate, you want a higher heart rate variability. That's the difference. And then also my heart rate spikes, I noticed, are way lower. Like before, I would do anything. Heart rate would spike and it would be super high and it would take a while to come down. Since the spa, that has not been the case. it'll spike after I'm doing something for a longer time. It's like I went back like a year and a half, 2 years in my health progress. It's like surprising. And it's not all in my head because I have documented evidence of this happening. And it wasn't something I was expecting to happen either. Speaking of not expecting to happen, before the spa, one of my major complaints has been severe, utterly terrible gut pain. And skip ahead if you don't want to hear gross stuff. So I've been having really bad digestion issues for like over a year. It feels like glass going through my guts. It's so painful. Bowel movements are painful, especially during menstrual cycles. And before I went for like a month and a half, 2 months, I can't even remember, to be honest, because I was so out of it. I was having very pure yellow and orange fecal matter and lots of blood and lots of clots. And of course, you know, medical system's awesome and they didn't care. And the soonest I could get in was months and months away. And I'd already made that appointment months ago, and having all this happen, they didn't care. So gotta love the medical system. So yeah, super, a lot of blood, a lot of clots from my bottom. They didn't care. Anyways, for only being at the spa for like a total of 5 days, the difference with my gut starting on day 3 was shocking. So digestion pains, by the time I was done with the spa, gone. Blood, gone. Feces, normal color. Like having normal bowel movements, which was not normal. I was having to take I call it the poopy pill. It's a drug that helps people with constipation to just even be able to go. And it's called Linzess. And I had to take that daily. And since the spa, and now that I'm filming this, it's been almost 2 months since I've been there. I haven't had to take it once. I didn't take it with me to the spa. And then since the spa, I haven't had to take it once. My guts are kind of starting to go back to normal, to being like not a good color. But my digestion pains have not fully come back, except during menstrual cycles. Bowel movements are a lot more regular. Like I said, I still haven't had to take Linzess, and I'm just shocked that sitting in water, I didn't drink any of it, sitting in water did that much for my gut. Like, no more blood, no more bloody clots, no more, the color was right, getting on, and it only took days. It took less than a week. I don't know how that works. I take tons of supplements. Like if there's, I don't know if there's a nutrient in it that you can't get as a supplement, or maybe I can't absorb except through my skin. I have no idea, you guys. But if you're having gut problems, do this. I'm so shook at how much that helped me and how fast. Like, to put it into perspective, when I say I had like constant pain like glass going through, and like going to the bathroom was excruciating, like the pain made me puke to go to the bathroom. Like all the time. Every day. Like the most, I've had my appendix burst, I've had my gallbladder had to be emergently taken out as well. And it's right with that. That's how bad it was. So for that to be pretty much completely cured, it's starting to come back, but like, so like in days, and just like, I was only there 5 days. I was only there for 3 full days. Oh, and to try and get like maybe other people, like your hubby, to come with you, or your spouse. My husband obviously came with me, and he had a really bad resistant ringworm infection, and he gave me permission to say this. The doctors gave him creams. Nothing was like, fixing it. It slowed it down. It made it not spread as fast. It made it get smaller, but it never got rid of it. And he had it on his body and on his feet especially. And he did the springs, and he noticed when we got back, completely healed, completely gone. He's been dealing with that infection for like 2 years, you guys. And the doctors have done, again, squat to actually help with anything. all the creams and steroids and creams, steroids, and pills they've given him have done nothing. But going to a hot spring spa for 5 days cured it completely. It has not come back. Now, this is not a huge difference, but my fibro pain, my all over body pain did lessen, not a ton. The gut pain difference was way bigger. The fibro pain, I guess if I had to put a number on it, I think I'd say like the fibro pain went from like a constant 7 to a constant 6. Which, hey, I'll take it. That's just from a few days. And that has also consistently stayed gone, except when recently I've been overdoing it and flaring again from these treatments and having to do so much more. And it's really taken everything out of me and making me flare. So the body pain is starting to come back. But still, it's sparse. I take a nap and it's gone. Or not gone. I take a nap and it's back to 6 instead of 7 again. So, worth it. I really wonder what it would have been like if I could have stayed there for like 2 weeks, or like been a snowbird and gone to New Mexico and like just found like an apartment near there and went there every week or every weekend or something, like for a full winter. Like, I really wonder how much healing I could get, because it's crazy, you guys, the amount of things that really helped. Although it didn't really fix any of my chronic fatigue, that's kind of not necessarily completely true, because I had to travel, get to the airport, wait in the airport, in the middle of the morning with no sleep, you guys, take 2 long plane rides, then take a hour-and-a-half long car ride from the airport to the springs. I should have crashed. I literally thought I might die. Like, that's how scared I was for how bad I was feeling before we left. I normally crash just from like the drive to the doctor, which is only 20 minutes away. So to have done all that on no sleep both times, and then during the spa stay, I really wanted to get this video, so I put in a lot of effort I shouldn't have put in there, but you know me, this is my one joy right now, so I did it. But I didn't crash. I didn't feel good. I did not feel good, but I never crashed. Like, I never had a flare. I felt terrible, but I never had a flare before. Well, not before. I for sure was having a terrible one. Not during the stay, not after the stay. And I kept waiting for it, thinking, oh, maybe it's one of those that takes days to like start. No, it never happened, you guys. And all my stats kept getting better as time went on. Again, until I started this brain magnet therapy thing that really has wrecked all my progress. But even then, even with that, and doing a lot now, because I have to do that daily, and that's a lot for me that, again, before this, would have put me down completely. I feel bad, and I'm flaring, but it's not like before at all. I feel like I've gone back like a year in my health journey, like to better times. The fact that I didn't crash makes me wonder, if it wasn't such a hard trip to get there, would it have fixed a lot of my fibro and chronic fatigue issues? I mean, you guys, when I say I was like really doing bad before I left, I was doing a video will. Like, I was scared that my body was just gonna give up. I feel like this gave me time back. And I definitely am gonna try and go back again as soon as possible. Out of all the health treatments I've done over the years, this might be the top one, actually, for actual, measurable, not in your head effects. And in a very short time, and with very little effort to get those effects. Like, this is probably the #1 thing I've ever done that has had amazing results for multiple issues. I see why hot springs have been used for healing and for the Fountain of Youth since the beginning. Like, I see why. I see why. They work. I don't know why they work. I don't know how they work, but they work. And it's crazy. And if you're curious about other treatments I've tried, kind of like this, you might want to try this video here. And together, my friends, we will keep on surviving.